to a Monday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and traveling live here by Joe Chevrolet. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure you get share button, comment button, interact with the here. Boys with a brand new F45 membership will stand on the ball through on Saturday when they host the former LSU Welcome in to the Jordy Culotta Show. Let us know what we think of the sound here on this Monday. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button as we are here with you on this Monday. We are going to talk to Wilson Alexander coming up here at 8 a.m. this morning. Wilson is going to be telling us all about the latest of LSU. We're going to talk to him about spring football back in action. LSU baseball over the weekend takes 2 of 3 from Florida. A huge weekend for Jay Johnson and the Tigers. As we will recap that. We will also talk to Nathan Velasquez coming up here at 8:30 this morning. We will get the latest from the Oscars. We bumped Nathan up a little bit for this Monday because of what happened last night at the Oscars. I think this is fake. I thought it was fake when I saw it. Nathan last week was pretty steadfast on the Oscars, not getting not having any attention. Ratings going into the toilet, and you bring 2 of the best actors in the world up on stage for pretty much a scene. I thought that was a scene out of a movie.
I think it was totally real.
You think that was real?
Yes, and the more I read about it, the more real I think that it is.
I do not. Lloyd, you got a side you fall on here?
Absolutely fake. A little
You
stressed
think so?
out right now because I'd like for the music to play. It always makes me feel like I'm naked without the music underneath us a little bit, but. Absolutely, that was fake. That was staged. Like Nate has said, it has been a tough go at it for the Oscars, and then for them to go up there. The only thing that made it seem real was
Will Smith losing his mind.
Was Will Smith losing his mind,
and
then
F-bombing.
That's what I meant.
He knows,
yes,
better,
yes.
he knows better than
the
to say that
The Chinese apparently have an audio version out there where they did not drop the sound.
Australia too.
Australia,
it's
okay.
only censored here in the U.S.
And that's what makes me feel like that. If there was any part that was real, it would have been that part where he said, "Keep your it's 7 o'clock." So. Bleeped it, but
he knows
keep
better
my
than
wife's
that.
name out your mouth. Seemed a little. That's a real thing to say.
It
Yeah,
is
it
real,
is.
but he also knows that he's going to get bleeped. He also knows that, if he was going to say something like that it's not really going to go across the television.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. Let me check this. Okay. Okay, we're good.
When I play the music with it, the music is louder than we are.
Still getting the levels all figured out over here. In the Jordy Culotta Show. Put it on the poll. Poll question easy this morning. I'd imagine that every talking head show around the world this morning is asking, was the Chris Rock and Will Smith slap last night on the Oscars real? I vote fake. I think that it was a staged act. Will Smith, he could get charged for assault for something like this.
But
this
they
is
didn't
on
press charges.
international television. Yeah, because I think beforehand he was like, bro, I'm going to slap you across the face. We're not going to do this. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
think
a wrestling move.
Yeah, right. You're not going to press charges on me, are you? I'm worth $300 billion. This is all going to be an act to get people talking about the Oscars and make people watch, right? So that's where I am. That's where I am on it. Patrick Kimmery says he's Team Rock. Easy poll question this morning. It is up on the on our polls for you, brought to you by Southern Eye Center of Baton Rouge. 25% off over at Southern Eye Center. When you mentioned the Jordy Culotta show, they will take 25% off of their great sunglass selection that they have over there on Jefferson Highway. Beautiful office. Stop in, see Dr. Ann Shaw and the crew over there at Southern Eye Center, and she will get you right as the sunshine is out. It was a beautiful weekend.
It was.
In South Louisiana. As we spent the weekend down in New Orleans. We were at a basketball tournament down there. You were lacrosse?
Lacrosse tournament, yeah.
But it was I thought it was just a phenomenal weekend. The Lakers were in town yesterday.
Damn it, I missed the game.
Pelicans came back from 23 in the second half.
Amazing. To
beat the Pelicans and set themselves up with a better seed going into the playoff push here. So a really cool time in the city around the Pelicans. But hopefully everybody had a good, safe weekend. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button here to start off this Monday morning with us, as we've got a ton to get to over the next 2 hours. As we said, we'll talk to Nathan Velasquez at 8:30. We'll get the latest from him on his thoughts on last night out in Hollywood. And then at 8 a.m. this morning, Wilson Alexander is going to stop by, and we can talk to Wilson about a buffet of topics, as he will be here talking about LSU baseball, as the Tigers recorded an 11-2 win on Sunday to beat Florida and take 2 of 3 from the Gators. Samuel Dutton and Grant Taylor. No idea who these guys were.
Me either.
Jay Johnson sounded like he didn't know who they were before the season either. He said on both of them, and this is coming from Jay Johnson yesterday following the Game 3 win, I kind of wish they had done this to our team throughout the fall in intra-squads, because we would have gotten them out there a little bit sooner. But that's a great sign for the next couple of years to see these youngsters, what they were doing yesterday in Gainesville. Bats woke up over the weekend. I think the lineup, as we've talked about all season long, kind of being the strength of this team, was really flexing their muscles on Saturday specifically, but carried that over into Sunday. In Florida, in typical trash fashion, throwing at the head of 13 batters for LSU over the weekend, including a 3-0 pitch that went at Dylan Cruz's neck on Saturday. Cruz bounced back for a ninth inning home run. He was smashing the ball this weekend. But Florida, LSU's been hit by the most pitches in the league by a ton, and Florida has hit the most batters in the league by a ton. But it was very encouraging to see that the way LSU baseball finished the weekend and the way that they really dominated Florida after a Friday night where it looked like they couldn't get off the mat. You were wondering if they were going to be able to bounce back on Friday after Friday night, and they were. They improved to 17-7 on the season. They're 3-3 in conference play, in the week ahead has LSU returning to action on Tuesday night, where they'll host UL Monroe, and then starting on Thursday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Auburn will be in town for a 3-game set taking on LSU at the box. So we will talk to Wilson Alexander about the weekend in Gainesville. He was not there. Leah Van was over in Gainesville with the team, but we'll ask him about things like the LSU baseball team and the offense this weekend. We'll also ask him about spring practice starting over on the Ponderosa as spring drills has begun. Hopefully you're keeping up with all of our social media over at Culotta Show and keeping up with our YouTube channel, because we've got great video that is coming out of the first couple of practices under Brian Kelly with LSU football. Shout out to Stewie, shout out to Ron, shout out to Noah, Jack, everybody who's been helping us and getting that stuff up for you to see on all of our socials and all of our YouTube channels. But you're getting an idea of kind of how Brian Kelly runs his practice, kind of the expectations that he has for the crew. And we'll talk to Wilson Alexander a little bit LSU football. And then, of course, LSU basketball. We'll get the latest from Alexander as LSU hires an assistant over the weekend. And I really did think that this was a good sign for Matt McMahon bringing in his latest hire, Cody Toppert from Memphis, who has had a lot of success over the past couple of years. He's been there for 3 seasons where he was an assistant and director of player development for the Phoenix Suns over his last couple of years before getting to LSU. And really, like I said, I think that this is huge for being able to get players. And then you look up, and Memphis received a notice of violations over the weekend against Anthony Hardaway and the basketball program that was related to lack of institutional control, head coach responsibility, and failure to monitor. And they're facing a couple of level ones. So it'll be interesting to see what shakes out on the latest of Memphis basketball and the NCAA, but LSU hiring a former Memphis assistant. We'll talk about that. Final Four is set in New Orleans. Incredible to see North Carolina and Duke in this game. I mean, Krzyzewski's
so cool.
career is going to come to an end in New Orleans. Either way, he's either going to win a national championship, play for a national championship, or his career, 40 years in the game, is going to end in New Orleans against North Carolina.
It can't.
Like, that is amazing
I
to say
know.
out loud. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, for this series, for these two basketball programs to be right here, right now, is really and truly, I mean, we've talked a lot about Hollywood over the last the first 15 minutes of this show. It feels very Hollywood scriptish to have North Carolina and Duke playing in this Final Four. Hubert Davis is first as North Carolina's coach. Mike Krzyzewski's last as Duke's coach. This is the 258th matchup between North Carolina and Duke. Maybe the biggest rivalry in sports.
Do you know when he won his first national championship with Duke?
92?
91.
91.
And both North Carolina and Kansas were part of that Final Four as well.
That's right. That was in
Isn't that cool?
is it Minnesota?
And UNLV.
But it was but to see this matchup now 258 times. This will be the 258th matchup between North Carolina and Duke, and this will be the first one ever to take place in an NCAA tournament. It really, I mean, look, I'm not a huge blue blood fan of college basketball. I don't really root for either of these two teams, but I will be locked into this game just watching the storylines, kind of all the drama that's going to go into it, K's last game or potential last game and a chance to get to another national championship. And really the way that this game ended last time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, North Carolina beat the hell out of Duke in that final regular season game in Cameron, which was K's last game when he was telling the crowd to, sit down and shut up after the game.
So much.
It's unbelievable. But he is back in the Final Four, speaking of Krzyzewski, for the 13th time.
That's amazing.
I mean, it is whether you like him or hate him or, you're against him or with him, that is an amazing feat
It is.
to accomplish and have on a basketball resume.
Yeah. Are you going to go to the Final Four?
We're going to be in Pensacola for a basketball tournament this weekend with Jordan. I'd love to see if the schedule could work out, if we could maybe bounce back and forth for this game.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to go watch this game. Villanova and Kansas on the other side of the bracket. Tough story for Kansas, losing one of their star guards, Justin Moore, who suffered a right Achilles tear under 30 seconds remaining in the Elite Eight matchup versus Houston. He slipped while driving into the lane with about 35 seconds left in Saturday's 50-44 win. 50-44. That's not two high school teams playing. That's not two junior high teams playing. That's two college basketball teams playing the Elite Eight for a chance to go to the Final Four, where Villanova won the game 50-44. And one of their standout junior guards, Justin Moore, slipped, fell, tore his Achilles. Sucks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Second team All Big East. He was a member of the All-South region team after scoring 21 points in their opening round versus Delaware. He also had 15 versus Michigan in the Sweet 16. That's tough for Jay Wright and the Villanova squad coming down to New Orleans, having to face off against Kansas and Bill Self, who I don't know if you need to be reminded, but Bill Self has multiple level 1 violations against him in the program.
Multiples.
Kansas, who is the only number 1 seed left in the NCAA tournament, won the Midwest region for the 13th time with its 9th consecutive victory overall. It's the 4th Final Four for Self in his 19 seasons. But it is a good chance for us to remind you that Kansas has been accused of multiple Level 1 violations and charges of lack of institutional control and head coach responsibility. All of the allegations carry potential severe punishments if the rulings go against the program. They just hadn't heard back from the NCAA. Just hadn't heard back. It's no big deal. Why?
Wait, I've made an adjustment to the poll question. I've decided that what's more staged, the Duke Final Four run or Chris Rock and Will Smith? Because this Duke thing,
I wish I could buy in, bro. I wish I could buy in. I
unbelievable.
know I wish I could buy into the Duke homerism, but I mean, if you turn on the TV and watch Duke play, dude, they did not miss a shot
I know, what's your
in the
deal,
last
boy?
9 minutes of that game. over the weekend. And you've got to play nearly flawless basketball to win a national championship, but you don't have to play that good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you're playing that good, you can steamroll to this thing. You can run. They didn't miss a shot in the last 9 minutes of that game over the weekend. And for that type of and now, I mean, even Kay in the post game on Saturday when he was like looking and talking, he was pretty much coaching his group on stage.
He's always coaching.
Yeah, but I mean, like you had a firsthand window. You had an open seat to watching. I mean, he was looking at me. He was like, "I'm really proud of you guys. You guys have really crossed over the bridge. This team has really done things that he didn't really expect to happen." I mean, they're playing with a confidence and a swagger right now, bro, that
they look like the best team in the tournament.
they absolutely they feel like the best team in the tournament.
Yeah.
It does stink.
Why are you so mad about why?
It's so Hollywood. It's so, of course, this is what's happening. Coach K gets to ride off in the sunset on his final trip, and they get to play North Carolina in the Final Four. This is
you don't
make
dog
movies.
In this hunt, so
no, not at all. But you just don't make movies that work like this. It's unbelievable that this is what happens. Like, if you would have told me, if I would have been able to write a script for this, like Coach K's final year, it would have been Duke, North Carolina in the national championship. Mm-hmm. Instead, it's the Final Four, which is pretty much just as good.
Yeah.
And he gets to go against North Carolina, who beat the shit out of him in the first game. And like Jordy said, he apologized to the crowd. Mm-hmm. But now Coach K gets to go on this miraculous run.
Yeah.
It's all coming together. All the pieces are falling in line. And he's in the West bracket, is that right?
Duke?
Yes. I think this is the first time, whatever bracket he's in, this is the first time he's ever made it out of that bracket. He beats John Wooden in most Final Four appearances or most
blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah. Like, all of this is unbelievable.
Blah, blah.
And then my God,
good for them.
The Peacocks go out. They got destroyed.
Yes, welcome to it, buddy.
Yeah.
Dude, welcome to the tournament.
Wake up.
No.
Goodbye.
Yeah, the dream is
Who
over.
were y'all?
I don't know, but I was
Dude,
watching.
they sat on 20 points for
forever.
a long time.
What the hell?
The announcer finally hit him with it seems like there's a little in the basket. I was like, dude, that was a long
Thank
time
you.
coming, dude. Thank you. But we were watching the game at we did a little mic'd up meeting yesterday. We were watching the game over there, getting our document in line. Little Sam Burns, 11-1.
Nice.
A little Masters
That's
invite.
nice.
So we'll have him on. But we were watching the game, and as soon as the game started, it was I think 6-0, 8-0. We all looked at each other and go, we're live betting this. We're gonna, no matter what the number is, we're going to get St. Pete's, and we all cashed a ticket. It was so, that was easy. That was stealing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow there's an LSU expert panel over on campus, and we'll be a part of it. Stewie, who is out of the office right now, who is listening to the show, says the audio's a little low. Went back to a little low. If you want to work on that, Lloyd, I don't know if that's something you can test on the fly here. But tomorrow, LSU expert panel that will feature a couple of people from LSU, including Taylor Jacobs, who is the NIL compliance officer over at LSU, and Lance Burgess, who is the president of LSU Sports Properties. A couple of representatives from Matchpoint Connection, including Mackenzie Landry and Crystal Faircloth, and then the CEO of Walk-Ons, the chief marketing officer from Walk-Ons, Lance Duran, will be there talking about just everything, NIL. So if you are looking to get out and learn about name, image, and likeness in college athletics, if you are a business owner, if you are a part of a marketing team within a company that is looking to get into the NIL space, I would recommend that you join us tomorrow on campus. And our friends over at Crowd Push actually have put some money up and have sponsored this event. You've heard us talk about Crowd Push on our show before, where it gives a fan base an opportunity to really get into the NIL project of raising money for a specific team, group on campus. Crowd Push is now sponsoring this tomorrow over on LSU's campus, where you can learn more about Crowd Push. You can learn more about name, image, and likeness. All of that tomorrow on campus. Begins at 11:30. Link is in the YouTube chat where you can still pick up tickets. We'll be there tomorrow emceeing the event. Very much looking forward to it. So if you have an opportunity, if you don't have lunch plans tomorrow, if you're looking to get out and get some information on name, image, and likeness and how it works within intercollegiate athletics, tomorrow on LSU's campus at the Lod Cook Hotel and Alumni Center right there on East Lakeshore, you will have an opportunity to join us and take that in. So please, if you have not gotten your ticket, but you can make it, make sure and pick that up today.
You can also get them at the door, right?
Yeah, you can walk up and grab them at the door.
Tom Granning's coming down for it.
Sweet. Good
Yeah.
to see you, Tommy.
Yes.
I think he's coming down to fix the audio, is what it seems like. I don't know what's going on. Let me listen on this end. All right.
Can I tell y'all about my favorite baseball moment from the weekend?
Sure. Absolutely.
Do y'all know
Bat
what
flip.
it is? No.
Bat flip?
No, not that.
No.
It's the fact that Lane Kiffin threw out a golf ball for the ceremonial first pitch against Tennessee, and they got swept by Tennessee at Ole Miss. The best thing that could have happened to that
He threw the
moment.
golf ball
He
because they
threw
were
the
throwing golf
ball
balls
out.
at him.
Yes.
Good play, Lane.
That's what he used for his ceremonial first pitch, and that
Wow.
came back to bite him
Against
in
Tony
the ass.
Vitello,
I'm so
too.
glad.
Another guy that
Bold
loves
move.
the spotlight.
I
A
love
little
that
Lane,
happened to
little
them.
Lane Kiffin of the baseball fraternity.
Yes.
Would you put him as he's probably the Kiffin of SEC baseball?
Absolutely, yeah. That's the comparison. That's why I kind of wanted him at LSU. But the way Jay Johnson got the ship righted, they had to wait, take
Yes.
2 of 3 in that series. That was massive for them, and to have Wilson Alexander probably explain it better than we can. But that was a massive win for LSU coming off a loss to they got swept by Louisiana Tech. Like everything was going against him. I bet against him Friday night, shouldn't have, but I'll take credit for that. I think my bet spurned LSU on to get a win. They smashed this weekend. It was awesome.
Jimmy James, a Coach K Bills self-title game might make Jordy melt all the way down. It could. Hayden Paris, I can't wait to spend my money on a 6-6 football program, a baseball program that can't win a tournament game, a basketball tournament program that can't win a tournament game, and a baseball team that wins a series and the fan base goes wild. Welcome to Baton Rouge. As we said, make sure to hit that like, share button, comment button. We will be here until 9 a.m. this morning. Wilson Alexander is going to stop by here at 8 a.m. and talk more about just the entire LSU topic. There's a lot to get to on LSU, whether it's the last couple of weeks with basketball, baseball starting to kind of figure some things out. At least offensively, it looked like they were really starting to get their feet underneath them this weekend in Gainesville. And then LSU football, some spring videos really starting to populate out of the Ponderosa. Tigers going to be back in action tomorrow, so make sure that you are keeping up with all Culotta Show social media to get the latest from the Tigers and the practice field. Also today, Mic'd Up will air regularly 11 to 1 o'clock in its regular time slot, and they will be talking to Sam Burns, who is a Masters hopeful here on the PGA Tour, former LSU golfer, Louisiana native from up in Shreveport. Has got his card ready to go to Augusta. He will be talking to Mikey about the challenges of getting ready for Masters Week. And then at some time today, which we anticipate to be somewhere around 3 or 4 o'clock, as soon as we find out what time is definitive, just make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, the Culotta Show YouTube channel. Make sure that you've hit the bell for the notifications to keep you up with everything that's coming off of the channel, because at some point today, Tyrann Mathieu is going to be in studio with us. The Honey Badger is coming back to Baton Rouge, and he is going to be here for about an hour in studio, and we will have an opportunity to catch up with our favorite, at least one of our most favorite LSU athletes of all time, somebody who has been very kind to our show throughout his entire pro career. We've kept a contact and kept a relationship since he was here at LSU, and really watching him play in that first couple of years of covering LSU football is a time that I just thought, my God, man, am I in the right place doing exactly what I love and what I want to do watching this cat play? I mean, that was his freshman year was my first year in radio and covering LSU football on a day-to-day basis, being at press conferences and pro days and practices and all of the stuff that goes into covering the day-to-day grind of a college football team. And watching Mathieu, somebody that when you interviewed him, I was at eye level with, at 5'8", looked about the same size at the time. I mean, our shoulders were about as broad as one another when we were standing next to each other. And then to see the impact that this cat was having on games on Saturday just made him one of these figures and characters that you just instantly fell in love with. And then all the swagger, all the New Orleans style that he has to him, just made him very easy to pull for. And we are looking forward to getting him to the studio today and talking everything, man. Playing with Patrick Mahomes, playing in the league, being the best safety in the league, now to where he is now, kind of on the open market where teams are flirting with him. Everybody seemed to have flirted with Matthew. Nobody has yet pulled the trigger on bringing him aboard, but all of it. What's he think about that lost junior year of his college football season? Things that we've talked about, but I know things that you, the listener, would love to hear from his point of view. And what's beautiful about Matthew is that he's so transparent.
Candid.
Mm-hmm.
He is so honest. And there's really nothing that is off limits. So make sure at some point this afternoon, or the safest way to do this, to make sure that you don't miss it live, is just to keep up with us on social media. Make sure you follow us on all social channels, on all social platforms, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we will announce when that time is scheduled. Like we said, we anticipate somewhere around 3, 4 o'clock. But at some point this afternoon, Tyrann Mathieu will be in studio with us, talking the latest of his free agency, his last couple of seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs, being a team captain on every team that he's played on in the NFL. If you've followed Matthew, his last 2 years in Arizona, he was a defensive captain. His 1 year in Houston, the team voted him the defensive captain over J.J. Watt, coming off of a Defensive Player of the Year award type season. And then in Kansas City for the last 3 seasons, he's been the team captain on that defense. We'll ask him about what it means to wear the C in the league. All types of stuff we'll cover with the Badger coming up here this afternoon. So make sure that you are locked in and just staying up with us on social media. Big day at FM Digital Media. We'll talk to Sam Burns, week of the Masters, and we'll have one of the best safeties in the NFL, Tyrann Mathieu, stopping by here at some point
Mount
this evening.
Rushmore for sure, huh?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yes.
I think
Who
I would think after Burrow, which I'm still so confused on why the Burrow stuff hasn't happened yet. Why they haven't put number 9.
They haven't done it to anybody yet. I mean, really.
Yeah, but I mean Burrow is such low hanging fruit. I mean, he's the best player in the program's history,
But it
right?
takes forever for some reason.
For everything does at LSU, but this to me would be simple.
Yeah,
Right?
you
I
would
mean,
think.
like as much attention, money, and awards that Burrow brought the program, it would be easy to turn around and just put his name and number in the facade of Tiger Stadium, like you've got for Billy Cannon, Jerry Stovall, Tommy Casanova. And I mean, if LSU is, so big on statues, build Burrow his statue. I mean, like if Billy Cannon's got one, and Shaquille O'Neal's got one, and Bob Pettit has one, and Simone Augustus deserves one, Pete Maravich needs one, Joe Burrow definitely has to have one.
But it took them forever to get the ones that are here erected, right?
It did. And like I said,
I knew when I chose that word.
Yeah.
Well,
You should know.
That is
Hell
the
of a
word.
But yeah, I mean, it does. Everything takes forever. What I was trying to say is that after Burrow, to me, Matthew's number and name is who I would put up in the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
but nobody. I mean, like I
if
brought
you
that.
had to pick one, you can only pick one.
If I could pick one, it would be Burrow.
Oh, shit. I'm picking the honey badger for sure at this moment in time.
I mean,
I need more time.
Oof, yeah, that's tough. That's
brought
tough.
you a natty.
He did, but I mean, Tyrann would have brought you.
Yeah,
I mean, he got
for
you
sure.
close. Got you very
Would
close.
have.
Probably should have won that Heisman, as we
Yep.
all know. But
Yeah.
But just in terms of what LSU, God, that's a tough question. But just in terms of what it means to like LSU football and what LSU football is, it feels like Tyrann Mathieu is the poster child for it, at least
Yeah.
in my mind. And
I mean,
when I grew up,
if I
From
can
an
have,
unbiased
if I can
person.
have
Yes.
if I can have my cake and eat it too, put Burrow's name and number in Tiger Stadium, building the statue, and let Ty be the head coach whenever he's ready.
and let Burrow play quarterback.
No, I'm
You
just
bring him
saying,
back.
whenever Tyrann Mathieu's ready for that challenge. This is something that he's talking about out loud now.
Yes, he's speaking it
we
into existence.
we will talk to him about this afternoon. So, I mean, we'll ask him how real this stuff is, but he's just in the way that I know him. And like I said, we've got a relationship that's lasted about 10 years from covering, media member to athlete. And, we're not good friends by any means, but I feel like I know him a little bit. He's not saying stuff like that without really being serious about it. You know what I mean? If he's thinking that right now, and with the affirmative tone that he is speaking that with, like, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
He's not bluffing.
Really, no. I mean, he's if this is something that he really wants, he'd be great at it. He would be a great coach. He would be a great motivator. He's obviously one of the smartest football players that has ever come through here and has the respect in the league as somebody that is very intellectual when it comes to just the game. I'd imagine that he would be able to teach that. He would be able to communicate that from coach to player. But the thing to me that he would make the biggest difference on is that he is so relatable to nearly everybody that he's recruiting. When he goes and sits down, it's a lot like Deion Sanders is having the success
impact he's having at
and
Jackson.
impact
Yeah.
that he's having on that roster and that community and that program, because it's just so relatable. I mean, even though Mike Norvell, the head coach at Florida State, goes in and tells Travis Hunter, you can come to Tallahassee and you can be big man on campus. You can play both ways.
You can be
You're the
Deion
number one
Sanders.
recruit. You can be whoever you want to be at a big-time university. Deion Sanders can still go into his living room and flip him and say, hey, man, you don't need all of that to be who you are. Just come hang with me, and I'll make sure you're right. I'll make sure that you know exactly what you're supposed to do once you get to the NFL Combine. And how is Tyrann Mathieu not going to look across somebody's living room coffee table and look them in the eye and tell their mom and dad, I got him, I'm going to protect him, and I'm going to develop him and turn him into a man and a football player, and nobody believe it? I mean, I think if he's real about it, and to me, he seems real, and we'll confirm it this afternoon when he stops by in studio,
Hell yeah, we will.
is that if he does it, he's going to be a killer. Like, he's going to be good at it.
There's nobody that emulates the trials and tribulations of college football like Tyrann Mathieu. The fact that he still wants to, and we've talked about this before, but the fact that he still wants to give back to LSU after LSU kind of did him dirty a little bit, it feels like. They were trying their best maybe to protect it, but then Les Miles wanted to make an example out of him, which was dumb. He's the best player on your team, maybe the best player in college football at the time. For him to get pretty much, I mean, I don't know, what would you say, like banned from the team, like almost banned from LSU, and then for him to come back and give $1 million and create the Players Lounge and do all the things that he's done.
He's amazing.
It's amazing. And like the only thing that stinks is like I feel like he said, I believe, that he can't go back to New Orleans and play for the Saints, but that seemed like the pathway to get him to LSU as a head coach. But I'd imagine if he wants to be on staff, he's got a job. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, obviously he won't jump in and be a head coach immediately. But if he wants to work his way up and do the grind that you're supposed to do, I'd imagine that he would do it very quickly and very successfully. Like, if Corey Raymond was DBU, imagine Tyrann Mathieu walking in your living room as the defensive backs coach.
Right.
Like, we're good here.
We'll ask him about the New Orleans stuff, too. Because if you remember when Will Smith was tragically gunned down in the New Orleans streets, I believe it was in 2013 or 2014, after a voodoo festival down there, or a French Quarter festival down in New Orleans. It was around this time of the year in spring. Tyrann Mathieu was very vocal about the shooter and knew him personally and was speaking on social media platforms and in the public about his feelings about that individual, and was not hiding his emotion and feelings to that individual and to those certain type of characters in New Orleans, which, look, man, New Orleans is a very dangerous city, and it's not even as dangerous as you and I could imagine for somebody like Tyrann Mathieu, who's been there his entire life, knows all of the streets, knows all the people, all the characters that are living that type of life in New Orleans. And a lot of those guys grew up with Mathieu and didn't want him to make it out. And now that he's made it out and made, millions and millions of dollars and has a reputation of being a really good guy in the NFL and somebody that teams and communities really want to be a part of, that doesn't sit so well with a lot of guys that didn't make it out and are still doing a lot of the same stuff that they were doing when Tyrann left New Orleans 15 years ago. So for him to come back as a well-established pro, does it make sense for him? We'll ask him coming up this afternoon. Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. #1 and the #2 business, specializing in all works of plumbing that is industrial, commercial, residential, and backflow prevention. They employ 30 years of veterans in the plumbing game, and they also have the young and future workers of the plumbing industry on staff as well. They've got experienced carpenters on staff and plumbers to help you with any industrial remodel that you might have. They cover Baton Rouge every single day. Barker Brothers has 2 trucks on the road every single day. In fact, we got a tweet from a listener saying that they used Barker Brothers services over the weekend from Baton Rouge. They were there, mentioned the Jordy Culotta show. They took the 15% discount off. Everybody was fast, reliable. Customer service was great. So a success story from one of our listeners, which we very much appreciate you calling and using our sponsors. Please do that. That shows a ton of support for our show. That goes a long way with them. So call Barker Brothers this morning if you have any plumbing problems, whether it's residential, industrial. They can help you out. 225-776-2431. 225-776-2431 to get the 15% discount on the off of your bottom line from Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. All you got to do is mention the Jordy Culotta Show when you dial that number, and they will take it off. No social media, no website. That's due to the high demand that they've had since the beginning.
Just BBWs.
225-776-2431. Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works, located in Plaquemine, but as we said, every single day, got a couple of trucks working in Baton Rouge to help you out over here if you need some help in the capital city. Thank you to them for their support. So Tyron Matthew, as we said, will be here this afternoon. Make sure to make a note of it. Hit that just hit that alert button. If you are not subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and you will get a one-on-one with the Honey Badger. And then today, coming up on Mic'd Up, Sam Burns will be in talking about the Masters and getting ready for Augusta. All of that should be done on video calls. One thing that I did see, and I wanted to get Stewie.
Is that a threat?
I wanted to get.
It's a promise.
I wanted to get Stewie in here, and Stewie's dealing with a little bit of car issue this morning. He'll be in at some point.
A little bit.
Sheesh.
What happened?
He got his oil changed at a place, and they forgot to put the oil cap back on.
No, that did not happen.
A big old.
That would make me believe that like they would be liable if
Yes.
they're.
That's what I thought too.
If they're, I mean, like if his car
Absolutely.
burned up, because I mean, like
Yes.
he sent a picture of his parking spot at his apartment this morning, and I mean, it is.
Like it's just filled with oil?
It's covered in oil. I mean, it looks like the
my
entire. All of his oil is underneath the car. I mean, it is all leaked out, which, I mean, you start driving your car without oil, you're just going to burn the engine
Yeah.
up. And if somebody that you go to get the service from forgets to cap the oil and you lose all of your oil and burn your engine up, that could, pretty much total your car.
Well, yeah.
Right? That would make the service provider liable.
Well, yeah,
right?
they're
I mean,
liable.
Do you sign off on that when you...
I don't think so. No, but for them forgetting to put the cap back on, that's completely on them.
Brutal. I mean, like, you
Yes.
might as well just hired me.
I mean, it's the Tommy boy.
It is.
It doesn't help you don't forget to take the can out.
God, I'm such an idiot.
I use 10W30.
I mean, can you post that picture of
I
Stewie's
just
parking
sent it to
spot?
myself. Yes, I'm about to.
I mean, like, this is
As good as it gets.
It is amazing. Look at all of the oil
I mean, poor guy.
sitting in this
So
space.
then what do you
dude.
do?
I don't
you
know.
go
What,
get
I
oil
guess you would have to
yourself
get.
and put it in?
Well, I guess you would either. I mean, for somebody like me who I wouldn't even know where to
I don't
start.
know
Yeah,
how
I
to
wouldn't
put oil in
either.
the
I
car.
wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, I would have to, like, I guess call a tow truck to get it
Jeez.
towed to the oil shop. You know what I mean? Like
The oil
The oil
shop.
whatever. To get this taken care
The
of.
oil store.
The oil store.
I mean,
I would think that whoever the business was, would come get it, would be responsible to
better.
come get his car and then repair it. Was it
don't
like
know.
a big name
Yes.
person?
a
Really?
huge name. A
Jeez.
huge name.
Jerry Jones.
I mean, like,
That's ridiculous.
Stewie's.
It's about to be.
Yeah.
I know, it should
Could
be.
be Stewie's. Hit that like button, share button, comment button. The Pels come back last night. Did you see this?
Yeah,
I know
they
this is-
did.
I know we've been pissing everybody off talking a ton of Pels here, but I mean, Brandon Ingram had 26 in his return from a 10-game absence last night as New Orleans rallied from 23 down in the second quarter to beat the Los Angeles Lakers 116-108. I had Jay and his little
How'd
buddies
Zion
with
play?
me. Zion
Wait, y'all
watched.
went to the game?
No, I had
about
Jay
to
and
be
his little
so
buddies
upset.
with us on. We stayed in New Orleans all weekend. They played at a tournament at Country Day High School on Saturday and Sunday. Very poorly run. Teams didn't show up. We ended up only playing 2 basketball games. Actually, a game and a half because the team that we played in the championship was decided that this was just too much. And look at that. I mean, look at that. Look at the sitting oil.
Oh my!
I mean, it looks like something.
I mean, that's a huge stain in itself.
Yeah.
But
Look at the
but
puddle.
the
That's
puddle.
a puddle.
The
That's
puddle of oil.
bad. Man.
Stewie's.
I mean, dude,
Locations everywhere.
The man came with receipts. There's a good reason he is not at work today.
Absolutely.
As
Absolutely.
we know, that's what everybody has to do it here.
Wish that was a company car.
Yeah. Get the van back.
Good Lord. But the Pelicans last night get an enormous boost from a couple of youngsters. Trey Murphy, who they drafted 17th overall in last year's draft, had 21 in the second half. And Herb Jones, who is from Alabama, the sharpshooter, was a second-round choice for the Pelicans. 16 points and then a career-high 6 steals yesterday for Herb. But the Pelicans...
Whoa. Cody Boudreaux, $50 for Stewie's Oil. What a guy.
Dang,
What a
Cody.
guy.
That's
It's a
really
big,
nice.
Big
Things
day
are good.
for him with Dune. Obviously,
That's
last night
true.
probably took some awards home, so
That's
we're
true.
supposed to get a poster or something. I guess be in the next movie. I don't know what we're doing with Dune, but thank you, Cody, for Stewie. That might go straight to the
Yeah.
Venmo.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Cody. And I guess we'll hang a Dune poster for
Gotta
all the
do
money. I
something.
mean, all
Yeah,
the
we
money.
gotta
Cody
do
said he was
something.
sending a poster
Sheesh.
at some point. So yeah, send it, Cody.
But the Pelicans, man, I mean, the action they're getting, it's crazy to think what Zion would be like on this team because it's so fun. I mean, some of the images. So anyway, we're in New Orleans for the weekend. We think we're playing basketball all weekend, but the basketball is so poorly run. That YBOL stuff that big guy Jason runs down. They got to try to fight me last year when I asked him who was when they had the brawl on the court, and I was like, "Who runs this thing?" He was like, "I do. You get out of here." It's like,
That guy
easy,
was
fat
there?
boy. My bad. I didn't know. I mean, whoa, bro. Whoa, you got parents brawling on the floor here.
It was Rico.
You got no cops. People are about to. I mean, you about to have a big issue on your hand. Well, this same crook that runs this YBOL, he just a money grab, gets everybody's money, takes teams that don't even show up to schedule, don't even show up to play. So, I mean, a lot of these people have driven back and forth from New Orleans all weekend. Luckily, we had made a weekend out of it and ended up having a great time because we thought we were going down there to play a lot of basketball. We ended up not playing. We played a game and a half, one Saturday morning and one Sunday night. So we really had the weekend just to kind of roam and enjoy a beautiful South Louisiana weekend in the French Quarter. And yesterday I'm over at I'm picking up some sunscreen because we've got a day to kill, so we ended up going to the Ace Hotel pool for the
a
day
good
with a
spot.
couple of kids. We got 3 kids and they're just like splashing all over everybody. People are
What,
like,
I was
I
about
mean,
to say,
good
is it a
God,
kid's
bro.
spot, though?
I mean,
It's more of a
just trying to enjoy the Sunday. Can you get these shitheads out of here?
for real. I would have been the
I
same
mean,
way.
I could see they wanted to kill us.
Like, this is
They
an
wanted-
adult
They
pool
wanted to
spot.
kill us, bro. They wanted to kill us. But the guy I'm getting the sunscreen from at the store tells me that last night he was working security at the Rouse's over there, and he says he was working OT at the Rouse's because his regular job is that he works security for local hotels, and that he was working the Ritz the night before, and LeBron and the Lakers pulled up at 2 a.m. And I totally forgot
Yeah.
that the Lakers were in town. Well, not even totally forgot. I didn't even know that the Lakers were in town for a game that day.
What?
And you're steady breaking
How
Pelicans
did you
news.
not know that?
I've
been talking for days about how I want to go to that game.
I knew it was coming up. I just knew it was Sunday. You know what I mean? I knew it was I knew LeBron was coming before the playoffs.
Yeah.
To New Orleans. I just knew it was today. You know what I mean? And so we get to the pool, and I mean, we contemplated for about 10 minutes to go stalk the Ritz-Carlton for the kids to go see if they could catch LeBron and the crew getting on the bus.
Any luck?
The pool was just too comfortable.
Sounds
Screw
like so
LeBron.
you,
You know what I
well, you
mean?
pulled the dad card.
But for the
We're
kids,
staying here.
Now,
They liked it.
Actually, I put it in there. I put it in their court because it was an easy walk. Like it would have been an easy little
jaunt.
Yeah, right. I mean, we'd have gotten back and forth real quick. And again, we had nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have anything to
If
do.
you're buying sunscreen, you have
right.
nothing
I mean, we
to
have
do.
nothing to do. We eat like kings all weekend. We had a great place. We listened to music. We bounced around the quarter. I mean, we walking with the kids in the quarter. Went to the St. Louis Cathedral Mass yesterday morning. I mean, like, we did it all. We were tourists, bro.
Y'all did.
You know what I mean? We were. But then yesterday afternoon, the game tips off. Lakers are up 23 in the first half. Pelicans rally, get the win. As we said, now the Pelicans are sitting a half a game ahead of LA for the 9th seed and the first 2 play-in spots for the Western Conference. It's incredible what Willie Green has been able to accomplish in his first year with a roster that does not include Zion Williamson. I mean, to look and see look, Valanciunas had 19 and 12 yesterday. CJ McCollum had 18. I mean, you're getting the impact from your high-end guys, but I mean, guys like Murphy and guys like Jones giving you the production that they are and being able to win games like that, that was an incredible environment. I mean, the images coming out of that game yesterday, it was nearly a packed house. A lot of people obviously showing up to watch the Lakers brand, Anthony Davis and LeBron James, but I mean, the story's really the Pelicans who, now 32 and 43 with the half-game lead over the Lakers going into this playoff push. And it's good to see B.I. back. I mean, Brandon Ingram coming back after his 10 games away, having 26, and the Pelicans winning 116-108. Look, we're not going to bog it down here and talk Pelicans for an hour, but you definitely got to be paying attention.
Yes.
If you enjoy NBA basketball, this is the time of the year where you watch it, right? I mean, the playoff push into the playoffs. This is, in my opinion, where you're getting the best athletes in the world putting the gas down. Like they're playing full speed every night. I mean, you may go to a basketball NBA game. That's the one thing I love about LeBron. Anytime you pay to go watch LeBron play, he's giving you 100%. Whether you love him or hate him, you better enjoy that. It was a lot like Kobe.
37 years old.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, it's a lot like Kobe late in his career, even throughout his entire career. If you paid your money and you bought your ticket and Kobe was in the lineup, you were going to get everything that Kobe had that night. As a fan, as a ticket buyer, as somebody who watches sports, what else can you ask for? What else can you really ask for? Just don't cheat me, man. If you're going to go out there and half-ass it, just don't play. And sometimes in February, March, maybe you might get a game in the NBA where you show up and the superstar's not the superstar that night. But LeBron's balling right now. Lakers are trying to make a push. And they're going one direction, and the Pelicans are going in another. Like, really, if you polled the 30 GMs in the league right now and you said you can run the Lakers or you can run the Pelicans, how many people would say, I'll take the Lakers? Well, you're in a graveyard. Your roster's shit because LeBron's come in there and he's played GM and he doesn't like it anymore. He's ready to split.
He might leave.
He's
You
gone.
think so?
He's
So.
leaving.
He wants to be in LA so badly.
Well, he
but
wants
it's
to
no,
win
Yeah,
now.
but now he wants
Yeah.
to win
now
also.
Has to.
now he's back to wanting to win.
He put
3
it
years
on
a-
Cleveland.
3
too.
years ago, he wanted to be in LA. He thought it was, I got my rings, I had
Space
done
Jam.
it. I'm going to make movies. I'm going to go become one of the most powerful people, not only in sports, in this country. One of the most powerful business people in the country. I mean, he pretty much runs Hollywood. A lot of what Hollywood produces goes through LeBron's company. I mean, people don't understand this, but I mean, a lot of what's happening right now in Hollywood has LeBron's thumbprints all over it. And I think that's what he wanted to accomplish by moving to Tinseltown. You know what I mean? Like, let me go out there and become a mogul. Let me
Yeah,
go
so
out
how
there
could
and
he
become a billionaire. And he's done that. I mean, I think he's looking up and he's saying, shit, man, I'm still at the top of my game. You know what I mean? I can still go out there and get you 50 if you need
Do you
it.
think he's surprised that he's still this good? Just because of, I mean, the longevity of it is unbelievable. Do you think even he's shocking himself a little bit right now?
LeBron?
Maybe.
I know, but I know he knows he's good. But
Maybe
I'm
in
saying
terms,
at
I
this
mean,
age,
guy
it's
spends
unbelievable.
$1 million a year on his body, which
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
more.
it's an incredible investment. And why wouldn't you if if that was your job? But the most surprising part in watching him, and I can't speak for him on his level of just kind of where he is on the evolution, but the amount of miles that he has on that body and him be able to lace him up and still give you,
Be the best player in the world.
if he needed to be,
Right.
Yeah.
is just the fact that his body has not really ever broken down. What did he get? He got hurt 2 years ago in L.A.?
He got hurt back-to-back years in L.A. where he had to sit out a
But
string
it was
of
kind of
games.
like,
but
it was
yeah.
kind of like, we're not any
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
I
exactly.
could do this if we needed to.
Anthony, it's your turn or
if
my
we were
turn.
really in contention, I could play. But since we're not, I'm just going to take some time off. Which, I mean, like, if anybody deserves it, that guy does.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a science experiment. I mean, it's just incredible to see the level at which he plays at this point in his career. Now, it might be
He's an alien.
it might be a cliff. It might be, where a Brett Favre,
Well,
where you're
seeing
playing
it with
at
Russell
this level,
Westbrook.
playing at this. I don't think he could fall. Like, I don't think he would allow himself to fall like Westbrook.
No, but just the uber
If he started to
athleticism,
airball
yes.
8 to 12 footers,
He'd packing it up.
He'd pack
dude.
it up.
Yeah.
He'd pack it up.
And I'm just
I
going to
mean,
go buy a team.
Absolutely.
Was Zion in the building?
Yeah.
Yes,
He
dude,
was.
and he seems like he's enjoying
He's
himself.
loving
He's
it.
having a blast.
He's loving it.
Noah has turned us on to the Pelicans a little bit. He's been doing the one that's like posting the content on the Culotta show, and I didn't know that they were having that much fun. I don't watch the Pelicans, but
Why?
because I don't care about
Why
them.
is everybody so mean about
But-
the Pelicans? I always wonder that. Why can't we talk about them? Like, what's the deal?
I don't know, they used to stink, and now you got the whole Zion situation, which makes you wonder: would you rather have AD or Zion right now?
Remember how mean y'all were about Zion like a month
Even
ago?
though neither one of them are playing.
Yeah.
I've turned the ship. I'm with you, Zion.
That's nice.
We're breaking news
Y'all
about
were
him.
awful about him before,
Well,
calling him fatty and all that.
he looks great.
And all of a sudden,
He needs to be playing.
He needs to be playing. Considering what leaked on the internet, it seems like he's pretty good to go.
it does seem like
it's
that.
really. I mean, it's ridiculous that this team is in this spot, and if he's healthy, that he's not playing. I mean, that is a fireable offense for somebody, and if it's not David Griffin, somebody needs to take the hook for that guy being healthy and right and wanting to play and not getting the nod, because this team is. I mean, it feels like they're a superstar and all-star away from just being competitive, not winning a ring or being in the finals. But I mean, as far as the process of building that, this would be a great experience gathering mission for Zion Williamson.
You think he's ready?
What?
Right now?
Did you see the
I
video?
saw the video, but that
what else
was
do you
just
need to see? I mean, that
lot
guy can give
more.
you 8 to 12 minutes a night.
And he's comfortable enough shirtless.
I need to see him playing with people.
Why? We've seen him play for 4 years. He was the number 1 pick in the draft,
meant
and now
after
he's
his
hurt.
injury, after his
I
injury.
mean, if he's doing that, he can play against people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he's got that skill and he's got the confidence to jump like that and land like that on his foot.
He broke the
I
court.
mean, before we saw that, I didn't think he could walk. I was hearing he needed a second surgery.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't look like that. Just the fact that they're having experiences like they had yesterday in the Smoothie King Center, and Zion is watching and smiling in street clothes is such a loss. I mean, it's just such a loss for the development of not only the individual player, but the chemistry of the team. I mean, how cool would it be in the offseason for that young group of the nucleus of the Pelicans? Herb Jones, Murphy, Valanciunas, C.J. McCollum, and Zion Williamson to look back and remember that playoff push, that Sunday afternoon in New Orleans when the Lakers were in town where we were down 20 and rallied to come back and beat them. Mm-hmm. I mean, all that stuff brings
Fake
you
smoking
together
weed on the court. It's
in the
great.
offseason. I love it.
I love it.
I love
They're
it.
having
Who
a
did that?
blast.
I love it.
Who did that?
I don't know who he was, but he hit a
Oh.
three. And
It wasn't Herb.
Really?
It wasn't
it
Herb.
should have been.
I want to say was it Larry Nance Jr.?
I think so. Yes, it was. It was.
Larry
It
Nance
was.
Jr.
Former Cavs, played with LeBron.
Yeah, I love it. And he's another one. Like, he puts people in the seats. He plays above the rim.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean, like, he looks down on his dunks. They're just a fun group, man. They are really an attractive ticket buying
Experience.
team. I mean, like, you do not get cheated when you go in there and watch them play. Poll question is up. 25% off sunglasses selection over at Southern Eye Center. We were asking you earlier, was the Will Smith, Chris Rock back and forth last night at the Oscars fake? Or is this Duke run to the Final Four more fake?
And now they want to do a new poll question, which I'll put up after this when we go to break, is LeBron James on PEDs? It seems like he might be. I mean, 37.
He's got to be on something, man.
If you had to pick one, Tom Brady or LeBron James.
Tom Brady, definitely.
Yes.
Tom Brady, definitely. Only because Brady looks so different. Like his physical look, the way that he's
looks like
transformed.
he's got somebody else's body.
Yeah,
well,
he
when
almost
you have
looks like an
someone
alien.
preparing every bite that goes into your mouth and running every workout. Of
But
course
I think
you're gonna
LeBron
look
has
different.
that.
Absolutely.
I think
Maybe.
everything that goes into LeBron's body is measured.
Yeah,
Everything
for sure.
that goes into LeBron's body is checked off before. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, he is, hey, you want to try this?
Yeah,
like, that
he's
ain't
not
happening.
taking bites of somebody else's plate.
But I think he was doing it that way long before Tom Brady was.
I don't know.
Like
I
the
agree.
TB12 thing happened
LeBron's been
later.
doing it
LeBron's
since,
been doing
yeah.
it a long
What, at a
time.
younger age?
Yes.
Yes.
Like he
Yeah.
started
I
this
agree with
way
that.
before
I
Tom
agree with
Brady
that.
started it.
All right, are we going to pull this video call off with Wilson?
We'll see.
Yeah, we
You wanna-
are.
Let's go to break and try it out. We'll
All right.
give him a shout and see if it works.
Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by Morales Roll-Offs. Get in touch with our friend Clyde Morales and his family over at Morales Roll-Offs on Airline Highway, where they can help you today getting anything on the construction site cleaned up. If you need dumpsters, if you need carts, if you need rentals, get over to Morales Roll-Offs today. They're located, as we said, on Airline Highway, just across the entrance from Industrialplex. Morales Roll-Offs provides dumpster rentals for residential and commercial needs in Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas. They are a division of Morales, a well-established construction and remodeling company with an impeccable reputation in Baton Rouge. They got dumpsters ranging from 10 yards to 40 yards to accommodate all of your disposal needs. You can get online and use their sizing guide to fit the right dumpster for your project. You'll see all of the prices right there, very competitive on their pricing, online at moralesrolloffs.com. Moralesrolloffs.com. Easy phone number, 225-427-0000. Video call with Wilson Alexander next. Stick around.
Okay.
We will also talk to Nathan Velasquez
On the video call.
coming up here at 8:30 this morning, as we'll get Nathan's thoughts on Hollywood and what happened last night between Will Smith and Chris Rock. Was it fake? I say fake.
Real.
Katie says real. Where are you, buddy?
Absolutely fake.
Hollywood.
Absolutely. Yeah, they needed that juice. They needed that.
Hollywood.
You talk about steroids. They needed that bump
Yeah,
in the
you
arm
know,
to
that
kind of get a
PED.
little. Like everybody's talking about it, and it seems so set up that it was just absolutely set up. That's like the worst acting job maybe in Hollywood history, as opposed to set up. But Chris Rock did wear one like a champ.
The most
he
impressive part about the entire thing was Chris Rock taking that shot to the face on live television, whether it was staged or not. You only got one take to do that on live TV. Will Smith's a big dude walking up on you, walking down at you on, I mean, this thing, the red light is on that camera. And we're not
Yeah.
only talking to, Los Angeles. I know that the numbers have fallen off and the ratings are shit in the Oscars, but you're still talking to the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a Super Bowl type platform. And you get slapped open hand, slapped across the face by a bigger dude and kind of just,
Eat it.
yeah, I mean,
Well, you
kind
have
of
to be
just
shocked.
shuns it off and kind of just keeps the program moving. I thought that was the most impressive part.
Absolutely.
Even fake or real. Fake or real. And I say it was fake. Like 100% fake. Even the keep my wife's effing name out. We get it, Will. We got it.
Most people
Entanglement.
still with Will Smith. Why are they hating on him?
Well, I think the last year of his life, he's just shown that he's melting.
But I mean, he's a great actor. You can't argue that.
Great.
What? Really?
Great.
Y'all don't think he is? Oh,
I don't think,
jeez,
when I
okay.
think Will Smith, I don't think,
I don't think Denzel.
no.
Okay.
What's his best movie?
I
Ali?
don't know.
Ali's good.
The Pursuit
Independence
of Happiness.
Day. Oh, Pursuit of Yeah. Okay.
love that.
Okay. You can sway me.
I mean, he gets 20 million a
gets
flick.
me
No
every
doubt.
time.
He
Yeah,
is
he
he's an icon.
Yeah. Well, he does other things too. I mean, he produces and writes and directs and.
Yeah,
And I always
rap.
thought he didn't rap. I always thought that he didn't
know.
cuss in his raps.
He
Big
didn't.
Willie style.
He doesn't. You know, like
he did not.
Will Smith don't have a
Great
cuss
guy.
word in this album. Well, fuck him and fuck you
You
too.
too.
As Eminem used to say. You know what I mean? Like, all right, Wilson Alexander coming up here in minutes on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Tom Granning from everybody over here at FM Digital Media, as he is our fuel sponsor. Whether it's fuel cards or snacks, he's keeping us going every day at FM Digital Media. If you're out on Highway 61, make sure and stop in and see them over at Go Mart. It is located in Natchez, Mississippi. It is our favorite convenience store, and it's for our guy Tom Granning, who supports us every day over here at FM Digital Media. Southern Eye Centers, where their passion is caring for eyes. It's what they do. They've been doing it for 40 years. They've been offering the Capital Region a friendly, helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. Stop in and see their brand new office on Jefferson Highway today, where you can find them at 6859 Jefferson Highway. They also are the daily poll sponsor on the Culotta Show. And remember, if you go into Southern Eye Center of Baton Rouge and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, you will receive 25% off of their fantastic sunglasses selection over at Southern Eye Center. Check out Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Center, the daily poll sponsor of the Jordy Culotta Show. Rouge, be on the lookout for the first annual Maddie's Footprints Forever Quarter Marathon 5K and 1 mile fun run and walk coming to Baton Rouge on Sunday, March 27th. If you're looking for more information, it's easy to get involved and register today. Get online at runsignup.com/footprintsforever. runsignup.com/footprintsforever. And be involved in this year's Maddie's Footprints Forever Quarter Marathon 5K and 1 mile fun run coming to Baton Rouge Sunday, March 27th. Testimony from my trip over to Johnson and Spillers. Shout out to my friend Dr. Chad Spillers for taking care of me, man. I had to have my front tooth, a tooth implanted on my front tooth, and it was a hell of an ordeal, but Dr. Spillers and the crew from Johnson and Spillers made it as easy and seamless as possible to work with, and have taken the final product, and it is absolutely beautiful. Learn more online at johnsonspillers.com. Whether you're looking for Botox or you need help in any type of dentistry, whether it is dentures, night guards, if you're looking for Invisalign, if you're interested in implant dentistry like I got, you can get in touch with Johnson and Spillers. Online, johnsonspillers.com. 2 locations, one in Gonzales, one in Baton Rouge. Easiest way to get them, online at johnsonspillers.com. Southern Eye Centers, where their passion is caring for eyes. It's what they do. They've been doing it for 40 years. They've been offering the Capital Region a friendly, helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. Stop in and see their brand new office on Jefferson Highway today, where you can find them at 6859 Jefferson Highway. They also are the daily poll sponsor on the Culotta Show. And remember, if you go into Southern Eye Center of Baton Rouge and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, you will receive 25% off of their fantastic sunglasses selection over at Southern Eye Center. Check out Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Center, the daily poll sponsor of the Jordy Culotta Show. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet, live here on this Monday morning. Make sure you like, share, hit the comment button, interact with us here as we start the week off down here in South Louisiana. We will have Tyrann Mathieu in studio this afternoon. Make sure you're sticking around on all of our platforms and all of our social media platforms to find out what time we will definitely talk to Ty. I believe it'll be somewhere around 3 or 4 o'clock, but just to make sure you're on all of our social media platforms and you were following us on YouTube with that subscription button and the notification. Make sure and hit that bell so you know when we go live here on the Jordy Culotta Show so you can keep up with our latest. And we're looking forward to catching up with the Badger this afternoon. Always looking forward to our next conversation. Wilson Alexander, who is a wealth of knowledge on the beat for LSU. Doesn't matter what you're looking for. He's got information on all of the sports, including the institution, for what the work he has done for the Advocate over the last 2 years. He joins us now via video on the Jordy Culotta Show. Wilson, it is great to see you. Great to talk to you. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, Jordy. How are you?
One second. Wilson, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, can you hear me?
He can hear me. I can't hear him. Hold tight.
Go again. Say something.
Wilson, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Oh, no.
Do we need to start over?
Yeah, scratch this and we'll try again.
All right, Wilson, I'm calling your phone, buddy. I'm sorry to wake you up.
That's okay.
Oh, never mind. There you are. Wilson, good morning. How are you,
excellent.
buddy?
Good morning.
I would have hated to have woken you up, gotten you all ready for a video call, and you would have, and then we would have to call you via phone. It's good to talk to you, man. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me on. Good morning.
Let's start with the latest, and I know that Leah was over in Gainesville with the LSU baseball team, but their offense exploded on Saturday and Sunday to end up taking 2 of 3 from the Gators, which is Jay Johnson really needed this, just if nothing else, to stabilize the chatter around the program publicly. What did you make of the weekend that LSU baseball had over at Florida?
It seemed to mark quite the shift in things there on Saturday and Sunday. Not that this team was necessarily reeling. It's early in the season. It may have been too soon to say that kind of thing, that the season was lost. I mean, they played one SEC series. There's still a long way to go this year. But coming off of losing 4 out of 5 and getting beat by Texas A&M at home, they really needed to go on the road and at least get one of these games, if not win the series. And to do it in the fashion that they did by winning 16-4 on Saturday and 11-2 on Sunday, just hitting the ball all over the park. That's what Jay sort of brought to this team, or what you would hope that he would bring this team, was these electrifying offenses. And they were able to do that this weekend, really getting back on track in a big way.
Did you know anything about these 2 young arms, Samuel Dutton and Grant Taylor, that they threw yesterday that combined to hold Florida only 2 runs? I mean, that was a very much a breath of fresh air to see those 2 guys working like that on the 3rd game.
They weren't incredible during fall practice or anything like that. Jay said that himself just yesterday after the game on Sunday. He's like, if they had pitched better during fall practice, then maybe we would have used these guys early in the year. But they've got a good mix of pitches. Samuel was kind of using his fastball, changeup. He had a breaking ball of some kind in there, and was pitching really effectively, hitting spots pretty well. Other than, I think he had maybe 3 walks, and so he's kind of got to clean that part up. But he goes and starts an SEC game on the road and pitches really effectively. And then Grant comes in after him, and he was using sort of a 2-seamer and a cutter, and that was working really well, sort of playing those pitches off of each other with the late movement that they have. And obviously, they only needed those 2 guys for the entire game. And so it was really impressive what they did to come in and pitch in an SEC game like that. And it could help LSU's pitching staff quite a bit if those 2 guys can continue to step up.
Is this what you anticipated from the lineup at the beginning of the year?
Something like this, especially after they did what they did opening weekend against Maine, scoring 51 runs that one weekend. It was, of course, hard to sustain that throughout the year, every single game in baseball. Baseball comes and goes, it ebbs and flows. But you sort of thought that they were going to be able to break out at any moment because of what they have top to bottom here. They just needed to kind of get put together. Having Braden Jobert sort of surge again was really helpful. Hayden Javinsky come in and have some good hits with that home run on Sunday. That's a positive thing for this lineup. Top to bottom, it's got the potential to be one of the best in the country. They just needed to put it together, and they finally did for 2 days.
Wilson Alexander, who covers LSU for whether it's baseball, basketball, football, you can keep up with the latest from Wilson on Twitter at _ WH Alexander on Twitter is where you can find him, and a regular contributor here on the Jordy Culotta Show. We've seen Brian Kelly on the practice field for a couple of times now in spring football and seen the accountability that he has brought to the program, at least through the first couple of practices. What are some of the things that has jumped out to you in covering the football program here early on under Kelly's leadership?
That accountability word was said a lot on Saturday by the players, and it was something that you sort of heard about over the last few months, really. It was just that he was trying to create discipline and accountability within this program, where maybe in some cases it wasn't there before. The measures are, there's doing a lot of things. Some of it he'd already done at Notre Dame with these SWAT teams, where they have a captain and they pick their own little subgroups, and they're responsible for those guys getting the workouts on time and everything like that. The personal wellness questionnaires that he mentioned at the start of the spring the other day, they have to do those every single day by noon. There's a whole list of things, and everybody's on this point system. And the players have really seemed to respond to that. And that's kind of what the main takeaway has been through the early part of the spring, just because what's happening on the field through 2 practices, it's hard to say who's going to start a quarterback or on the offensive line after 2 practices. But there's also been, I guess, some takeaways there.
How about Jack Besh and the physical transformation he's made in just a short time, and now him working out the wide receivers? What do you expect from the second-year wideout from Lafayette? St. Thomas More.
Quite a bit. I think Mike James-Rock wants to try to get him involved in a lot of different ways. He's obviously so talented, and he can work out of the slot. He could line up on the outside at times if else he wants him to, even though you've probably got Kayshawn and maybe Kyron Lacey more as a traditional outside receiver. But, of course, Jack could also go kind of into that H-back hybrid role if he wants to. But he is going to be more, as a wide receiver this year. And he's excited about being able to do that, about being able to stick with the wide receiver room and learn technique from Cortez Hankton. And I expect him to have another big year. He already had a really great year as a freshman. There's only so many balls to go around, but I would think that he's going to get quite a few of them.
The wide receiver room is definitely talented and loaded, and can't wait to see what they can bring to the team this season. But, Wilson, I'm most anxious to see this defensive line work in SEC competition. You've had a chance to see them now on the practice field with additions like Quincy Wiggins to that group and Mingo from Missouri. What have you seen from the depth on that unit and the numbers on which they can play with come fall?
They have a really solid 2 deep and should be able to rotate quite a bit. Mackay's looks physically ready, obviously after playing already in a year in the SEC of Missouri. He's been in this training program for a minute, and he looks ready to kind of step in there. Jacob Guillory physically looks like he's there as well. And those are 2 guys who could maybe be able to start or push for good playing time. And Jack Lanois seems to be the first team defensive lineman there, and same with Mason Smith. Ali Gay, of course, coming back, and Quincy mentioned he looks physically has the traits to play early on, but he's going to have to try to compete with some guys ahead of him. It's not going to be easy for him to just get on the field. And it's been interesting because that B.J. Ojulari, they kind of got him maybe in a stand-up outside linebacker position after playing with his hand in the dirt for the last few years. Kind of almost running like a 3-3-5 with him down on the edge. So this defensive line really, even last year, had the potential to be incredible. And it started to get that way at times. Obviously, having injuries to Ali and Andre Anthony didn't help. But they've got that depth there again that can make for really a solid 2 deep.
Wilson Alexander joining us here in the Jordy Culotta Show. What have you seen from the defensive backfield at cornerback?
It isn't all maybe been there, but we have seen, they've got the depth is still maybe an issue. They might want to go and get another cornerback. Right now, a little bit of practice that we saw on Saturday, there were some walk-ons having to come in on the second team when they were out there, but the first team has been consistent, and that Mekhi Garner and Derek Grant-Converse are your cornerbacks. Joe Foucher's been the safety, Greg Brooks Jr., all these transfers look like they're going to be able to play really early. And then you've still got some guys in there, returning players like Jay Ward and Major Burns, and even Matthew Langlois has been getting some first-team reps early on. They seem to be their first sort of group in the secondary seems to be pretty solid.
How about coaches? Anybody jumped out? First-year coaches that you've seen out there that have made an impact, or somebody that's jumped out to you?
We got to watch Joe Sloan up close for a minute on Thursday, the day they were opening, when everyone sort of went to watch those quarterbacks right off the bat. And he's energetic. He's moving around a ton on the practice field, sort of mixing in positive encouragement with critiques at the same time. He wants things done the right way, but when somebody, executes that, he's make sure to tell them. And he was just, really interacting with those guys a lot, running around a good bit. He stood out early on.
Wilson, how about from a standpoint of getting everybody together now here on the practice field? We've got a question coming in from a listener. Reed Rule asks, #AskWilson. Have you gotten an opportunity to see who could be returning punts and kicks so far?
Thanks for the question, Reed. No, we have not gotten to see that part just yet. We haven't been out at practice when they've done that, at least. But there's going to be a completely open practice coming up this weekend, and then we'll be able to get a much better look at every little thing like that.
When you have an opportunity to go to an open practice where you can see just about anything you want from LSU football, Wilson, what is some of the curiosities that you have to see a full workout?
I'm excited for it. First of all, I've never seen a completely open college football practice, but probably sort of how it gets run from start to finish. I'd be interested in that, just how Brian Kelly goes about doing it, because we've seen it in little bits and snippets now for about 15, 20-minute periods, but start to finish, I'd be just really interested to see how it works. And then kind of depth at every position, and then, who really stands out when you're seeing it like a full 11-on-11. Maybe they're starting to get some pads on later here in the spring too. Who starts to make some plays and stand out. I'm also really interested to see how John Emery does in those situations. We've seen him for a second here, and he looks physically right there and ready to make that step that he's been sort of waiting to make for so many years. But how he responds in a full team situation would also be something I would want to see.
Listener question tweets in asking Wilson about Mike Jones. It really feels like it's his time at LSU.
It does seem to – he's got a chance, certainly, to step in and grab one of those inside linebacker roles, either that or the Mike or the Will. Him and Greg Penn have been the starting linebackers now for 2 days in a row. Micah Baskerville's still there, and I'm sure he's going to push him into that mix for playing time. I mean, he's a returning starter. But for the first 2 days, it's been Mike and Greg, and Mike really came on strong at the end of last season when LSU sort of shifted its defense after the bye week. He's going to have as good a chance as anybody to step in for a starting position. He wanted to play inside. He feels like he's got the ability to play inside since last year, and he's getting those reps right now.
Last one on a player, and then we'll move on. Sage Ryan from a listener.
Yeah, I mean, Sage, we haven't really seen him a ton on the practice field in those little 15, 20-minute periods. Greg Brooks looks like he's going to be that starter at nickel, but, we've still got a long way to go. That's sort of the caveat with everything that we're talking about now. There's still so much time left before the first game. Sage is extremely talented, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of how LSU uses him, because that's someone who's hard to keep off the field, but he's now a little bit, they've got experience ahead of him now. At a couple different spots, but it also gives him time to develop, which could be beneficial down the road.
Wilson, what did you make of the hire of Matt McMahon as the next LSU head basketball coach, the 25th in the history of the program?
He was certainly matter of fact. I was interested that he didn't seem fazed by the prospect of NCAA sanctions coming months from now, whenever it actually happens. That was sort of the thing that still got the most to me from his press conference, was he said that didn't really factor into his decision. But of course, helps that he gets a contract that gives him some job security in case those show up. But he seems focused and detailed, and that maybe he can get this program going again. And not obviously on the court they were successful, but make sure that off the court there aren't the same issues that got Will Wade fired at the end. It was a solid opening for him as head coach. We'll see what he can bring.
Wilson, do you get any idea that anybody around LSU anticipates a punishment or has any idea what the punishment may look like into the future? I think McMahon's contract kind of told us that they don't know with kind of the year on with whatever could be ruled on. But is there any insight on what could be?
It's tough because at this point it is pure speculation. Even everybody on LSU's end isn't going to fully know what the NCAA is going to do until it happens. The NCAA really doesn't it's interesting. Sometimes there's been cases in the past where you think, okay, they're going to come down hard on this program, and then it's a slap on the wrist. It's going to depend on how LSU cooperates over the next few months. But there is a sense that there could be a multi-year postseason ban. There could be the loss of scholarships. As we saw in his contract, counts for both of those things. He gets that extra year, both those things happen. And that's certainly something LSU is bracing for. But we're not going to know for sure until the NCAA makes its final ruling, or excuse me, specifically the independent accountability resolution process.
One more back to football, and then I'll get you out of here. Wilson Alexander joining us here on this Monday morning via video. We appreciate his time on this Monday morning. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button to keep up what's coming up here on the Jordy Culotta Show, and follow Wilson on all social media to keep up with LSU. You mentioned Quincy Wiggins when we were talking about the defensive line. Anybody else from a true freshman early enrollee stand out to you early on? I know it's just 30 minutes of 2 practices that we've seen, but anything from a fresh face that you may say, man, he may make an impact in year 1?
Will Campbell is huge.
Yes, he is.
He stood out right away because I've seen pictures of him, but then to actually stand up like 5 feet away from him, he is a massive freshman. And Brian Kelly also, he said as much. He's like, Will Campbell, physically, he's a beast. He has the traits to play as a freshman and get himself right into the mix. There's a lot of openings on the offensive line, and he's going to have a chance to try to go and take one as a freshman. Physically, it's all there. It's just a matter of whether or not he can make that adjustment to the SEC and college football right off the bat. He's got the physical traits to do it, though. Yeah,
that 11-on-11 that came out from the video, there were some shots of him that he fit right in. I mean, there was not much of a transition from Neville to the LSU practice field for Will Campbell. It'll be interesting to see him in year 1. Wilson, thanks for taking this journey with us here on the video calls. Hopefully by the next time you come by, we'll have all the kinks worked out, but we appreciate you working with us here this morning.
Happy to do it. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
All right, man, there he is, Wilson Alexander checking in from The Advocate. Great information as always. Make sure you're following him on Twitter to keep up with the latest. Easy to find him at WH Alexander is where you find him on Twitter. And as we said, he is a fantastic follow to keep up with everything that is happening with LSU on campus. And I believe I said underscore WH Alexander. It's at WH Alexander underscore. So put that underscore on the end of the address there to keep up with everything that Wilson Alexander has got. And that conversation on the Jordy Culotta Show brought to you by GoFlow IV. GEAUX, flowiv.com. Remember, GoFlow located on Jefferson Highway. Easy to get in touch with them. And if you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, they take 20% off on your initial visit. GoFlow IV, GEAUX, flowiv.com. Our friends over on Jefferson Highway is where you can find them. Go stop in and see them and tell them you heard it right here. They offer memberships, but if you're looking for a little energy boost from the weekend, if you need a little something to get right before the week starts, get over to GoFlow and they can help you out today. GEAUX, flowiv.com. GoFlowIV.com is where you can find them online. And special thanks to Wilson Alexander there for stopping by. Not bad.
Not bad. I'll give it
tough to get the plane off the tarmac. Once we got it into the air, I felt like we hit a little bit of turbulence, but for the most part, we got her up in the air and landed it.
Yeah, I feel good.
You're playing analogies.
But we do have another flight coming up here in about 5 minutes. So we need to get this thing gassed up and ready to get back in the air. Are we going to be able to make it?
Oh, Nathaniel?
Yeah.
That's easy. Yeah.
Why is he easier? Yeah. I love it.
Can you send him the info?
I can, and I will.
Sweet.
I don't have Bates' number either.
Really?
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me.
All right, send it to me.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll have Nathan Velasquez talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith. How staged was it? Is what we will find out. Katie thinks it's real. I think it's fake.
Noah, what about you?
No, you got to vote?
Yeah.
Really? Noah, young.
I just put something in the group chat, I think.
Dumb.
I don't know. What does that have to do with it? The guy offended his wife. He's been on like a mission of taking up for Jada for like 2 years now.
After the entanglement?
Yes.
What, after she said she was in love with Tupac?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
after all those things.
Willie.
But I mean, I'm just saying that's been
Big
his
Willie
life.
style.
It's
You know
like,
what I mean?
Willie style.
Dude, it just, I hear you, man. But I mean,
Think I'd give a dim butt a Grammy?
open hand punchings to Chris Rock on the Oscar stage.
Yeah. I mean, it got to him.
All right, Nathan Velasquez next. I say fake.
I think I just put something in the document that I think it's elaborated as real.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I'm about to read it whenever we go to break right now.
Shout out to Tom Granning from everybody over here at FM Digital Media, as he is our fuel sponsor. Whether it's fuel cards or snacks, he's keeping us going every day at FM Digital Media. If you're out on Highway 61, make sure and stop in and see him over at Go Mart. That is located in Natchez, Mississippi. It is our favorite convenience store, and it's for our guy Tom Granning, who supports us every day over here at FM Digital Media. Southern Eye Centers, where their passion is caring for eyes. It's what they do. They've been doing it for 40 years. They've been offering the Capital Region a friendly, helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. Stop in and see their brand new office on Jefferson Highway today, where you can find them at 6859 Jefferson Highway. They also are the daily poll sponsor on the Culotta Show. And remember, if you go into Southern Eye Center of Baton Rouge and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, you will receive 25% off of their fantastic sunglasses selection over at Southern Eye Center. Check out Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Center, the daily poll sponsor of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at citycafebr.net, where good friends meet. Great food and even better service, located in the shopping center behind Rite Aid on the corner of George O'Neill and O'Neill Lane. They cater for parties big and small. Sundays, they serve a fantastic brunch that starts at 10 a.m. They have daily lunch specials. And remember, you can look at everything online at citycafebr.net. We'll give a shout-out to Squeaky Miranda, Cody Miranda, Dirk and the crew, everybody over at City Cafe for their support here at the Jordy Culotta Show. Online, citycafebr.net.
Sounds are so good.
Southern Eye Centers, where their passion is caring for eyes. It's what they do. They've been doing it for 40 years. They've been offering the Capital Region a friendly, helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. Stop in and see their brand new office on Jefferson Highway today, where you can find them at 6859 Jefferson Highway. They also are the daily poll sponsor on the Culotta Show. And remember, if you go into Southern Eye Center of Baton Rouge and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, you will receive 25% off of their fantastic sunglasses selection over at Southern Eye Center. Check out Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Center, the daily poll sponsor of the Jordy Culotta Show.
Do they still hear us?
Shout out to Tom Granning, everybody over here at FM Digital Media, as he is our fuel sponsor. Whether it's fuel cards or snacks, he's keeping us going every day at FM Digital Media. If you're out on Highway 61, make sure to stop in and see him. It's located in Natchez, Mississippi.
Want to hear see this? Can you hear it?
You know, it's behind.
We'll figure it out. That's good. These are all promising things.
Right.
We just have to be very cognizant. We pretend like we're on air all the time.
Always. That's how you get canned in this business,
Absolutely. even on this platform, dude.
Didn't even know it.
No.
Didn't even.
Think I'm fired.
Nathan's saying, not sure if you can hear me.
No, not yet. I didn't want to put him on yet, but I have his audio. Try to talk to him now.
Nate Dogg. Nate.
Now try him.
Nate?
Oh, hold on. Now good. Now we're good.
Nathan? I hear you. I don't think you can hear me.
Hello.
Can you hear me, buddy?
Now good.
Nate, can you hear me?
Where did that change? Go again.
Nate Dogg?
I don't know what's happening. What did I do wrong? Go again.
Nate Dogg.
This is great radio.
Are we live?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
What did I change? Now go.
Nathan.
Okay, don't go. I didn't do anything different. What's happening? Now go.
Nate.
Hello?
Bail.
Bail. All right, you're on.
Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. We will have Nathan Velasquez with us on video call. We will not have video call. We'll have via call, audio call. I hear him.
I hear him.
I hear New York City.
Hello, can you hear me?
Nathan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Nate, can you hear us?
All good?
All good.
There we go. Again.
Welcome in
Okay.
to the Jordy Culotta Show. Driven and powered by Go
How's it
Chevrolet,
going?
live here on this Monday morning as we catch up with Nathan Velasquez, our 5-minute critic, regularly with us on Fridays. We could not wait to get to him for 4 more days because of the news cycle and what is producing right now. Last night was incredible television, whether staged or real is to be debated, and it's being debated all over the world, which started last night and is going through this morning. Our poll question is up. Was it fake between Will Smith and Chris Rock? I believe it was fake, Nathan. I believe that was a staged scene at the Oscars, a lot because of what you told us leading up, that they are struggling on ratings. The entire event has gone into the crapper. What is more intriguing to see 2 A-list movie stars going at it verbally and physically on live television? I thought that's kind of what that was. What did you think of last night when you saw it? It's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you guys. The video is going, hey, and I know behind the scenes, everyone's working real hard with the video production. It's looking good. It's sounding good. I really, when it first happened,
Good. This is
it was just
Are we doing it right? Is this right? Is it working?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's working. I think we're feeling good right now.
Thank you.
All right, so Nate, real or fake?
Oh, there's no way that was fake.
Yes.
Hollywood, I've been seeing some of this going on. Hollywood is not that smart. They're creative, but if you think that they're playing 4D chess at that level, I don't see that. This is a room full. Think of a room full of the most egomaniacal person that you know. I would ask, what is Will Smith getting in return for what he just did from the Oscars? Because this guy's career is on life support right now. Like, it's in the if this is fake, they need to come out right now and say that it was fake, because regardless of how the Oscars are doing, this is bad for him. I know there's a lot of takes going in different directions as to what's going on, but in general, when the dust is settling, I don't think this plays in his favor at all. And Will Smith is very, like Tom Cruise, very particular about his public image. He's a big time producer. Something like this happens, then there's got to be a huge pivot, because this was a huge miscalculation if this was intentional.
So under that premise, if you're believing all of this is real, what did you think in real time when you saw this?
In real time, honestly, Chris Rock came on and it didn't. I wasn't really in that moment even really paying attention. It's kind of like in between the awards, like the big moments you're really looking for are the moments where the awards are going up. You want to see what's winning the gold, and maybe you're checking your ballot, or you got people over, so you're just kind of hanging out. We had a few people on Zoom we were hanging out with, kind of just chatting, and then an award came up and it was going on. And the part that really I think made it seem like it's not fake, the audio went silent for so long. It was a level of the show is off the rails.
Yeah,
like
you're panicking.
really bad stuff. That does not.
Was panicking.
Oh yeah, massive panicking. And just the look on Chris Rock's face. If you've heard that unedited, uncensored version of what's happening, Chris Rock goes, "I could." You see him pull back, and it's kind of like if I got the mic right now, if I wanted to, I could say some things, bro, because you just. And that's why I don't think it's fake. And the anger, that's what's so bad about this for Will Smith. When it comes to, and this is kind of a problem that Hollywood has in general. We want to see you as an entertainer. We want you to make us forget our troubles, whether that's with horror, drama, comedy. We don't want to see really what you're like behind the scenes, and we don't want to see anger. Like, anger kills the mood like nothing else. Like, politics kills the mood, yes. But anger, that sucks all the air out of the room. That's why I don't think this is just so poisonous for him as a high-profile character. I mean, the man's worth $350 million. The Oscars must have had to double that to get him to stage this thing.
Wow. So then, in that sense, the most impressive part about this is Chris Rock. I mean, whether you're against the Oscars or not, this is still a Super Bowl type platform where you're speaking to the world.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the man. Well, first of all, I mean, Will Smith at least wrote the next half hour of his next comedy special. Like, good on Chris Rock. He didn't even like rub his cheek or anything. He just stood there and went, greatest event on live television, greatest moment on live television. And it was like, you played that off. He didn't show anger because in that moment, you really are, there are very few moments, not talking about the Oscars, not talking about the Super Bowl. There are very few moments where something happens on live TV where everyone's like, are we seeing something that's like real right now? Like, is this honestly something that's real? And in that moment, that's the thing that I don't think is staged, because you saw Chris Rock there really have to do. He's not that good of an actor. He's a great comedian. He's not that good of an actor. And that was, you could see real time trying to work through some shit there.
So did this do what it felt like it did on social media? Did this bring attention to the event last night? Do you think this is something that the Oscars? I'm not trying to use somebody's low point for blowing something up, but I mean, is this the shot in the arm that the Oscars needed, or the shot in the face?
I honestly don't. I would say no. I don't think this is going to play well. I don't think it's going to play well at all. I think that in general, people haven't been watching the Oscars. People don't really care. They don't talk about things that people really care about. And just in general, whether it's subtlety or entertainment, the Oscars don't really bring it to the forefront. I feel like they've been getting into the coffin for the last decade when it comes to entertaining an audience. And I think this felt more like Will Smith just shutting the casket shut. Like, it was embarrassing. This is huge. I mean, it's funny. It's easy to make a lot of jokes about it, but this was huge, huge embarrassing. Like, what credibility is there now? This just throws all credibility that this show has way down the hole. Like, this was bad on so many levels.
Did you enjoy Will Smith in King Richard? Did he deserve that award from your point of view?
The sound's going out a little bit. What was that?
Did you enjoy Will Smith's performance in King Richard? Did he deserve that award?
Lloyd, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say anything bad about anything here. I think I'm missing the sound there a little bit.
How did you mute it? Go again.
I asked, did you enjoy King Richard, the movie, and Will Smith's performance in it, and did he deserve that award?
Yeah, he was good. It's a good movie. He gives a really good performance in it. He ruined it though. Like, that's the thing that's weird about this. From the moment 5 minutes before that happened, he was totally deserving. Everyone knew he was going to get that. And that's the thing. I don't think it matters really. Is it staged? Is it not staged? Let's say it's staged. You do something like that, there's no way that you are deserving to get that award. You have thrown, you've tarnished your image. You've taken all the attention from everyone else that got an award in that room. For the 10 million people that do still watch this thing, no one cared anymore about what's going on. And the speech that he gave, that's what everyone was thinking about after he did that. It's like, okay, well, we know Will Smith's going to get the Oscar in 20 minutes. What are you going to say? Like, this is now not about you accepting your award. Forget the fact that you just threw the Williams sisters under the bus, everyone that worked countless hours to get this movie. This is his movie. Get your movie made for you under the bus. How are you going to get some respect back? And he didn't apologize to Chris Rock. That's kind of the only way. Again, even if it was staged, you got to tell. The PR person went over to him. They had video. Tyler Perry and Denzel Washington ran over to Will Smith, took him aside, and you could see like the look in their face. It was not, hey, so the PR play is working out. We're doing a good job here. They were like, you got to collect yourself. Something's going bad here. And he got up and it was excuses. It was not. That's the thing. If this is fake, there's got to be a video out right now explaining it. apologizing that it didn't work out well, apologizing to Chris Rock. Because I don't know another time where it's just kind of like we just saw someone, if not kill their career, I don't know about kill their career, but you went from a peak to effectively jumping off the mountain to a degree that you're now in the ICU. Like, this was bad.
What is the fallout of this? Do you anticipate?
I really don't know, because I saw, just before coming out here, I saw even Stephen A. Smith had a video out. Like, there are a bunch of people coming out with videos that are effectively, very, not outraged, not full outrage, just like, it's the more realistic, it's the most realistic version of, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. It is, everyone loves Will Smith. There are very few, and this is why in general this story is upsetting, because there are so few people in Hollywood where it's like, okay, we got some classic entertainers, some people that are out there just trying to put out a product. He put out King Richard. King Richard is very family-friendly, exciting movie about the importance of trying hard and, the importance, I guess the standards that merit has in our society, how you can overcome anything in this world. And to then go out and do something like that, especially from someone like Will Smith, it's one of the few entertainers that you kind of feel like at least we got a few people that do a good job out there in that industry. And this is nowhere near that standard at all. The people that don't care about the Oscars, the people that see Hollywood as silly, they're just like, how could you not be even more done? And I think people that were kind of on the fence now are like, this whole thing is a joke. We should have been listening to people that didn't like the Oscars.
Damn. The 5-minute critic, Nathan Velasquez, is here with us on this Monday, talking and wrapping up last night Oscars. Outside of that, what everybody is talking about, The Rock and the Chris Rock and the Will Smith interaction on stage, what did you think about the entire night? What was the event like, or did that throw it completely off where everything before and after is now lost in translation?
I guess in terms of the more traditional business sense, it's funny that Netflix has been trying for about a decade to get a Best Picture nomination, and Apple really got it on their first try. I don't know if that's going to be huge. That's probably the biggest story out of the night. Good for them. We'll see how it goes. I expect that, that'll be good for Martin Scorsese's next picture, the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie. That'll be big for them. But that's the thing. This shows how much the Oscars in terms of the movies don't connect with people, because this is like, go on social media, ask anyone what they're talking about in the Oscars, not talking about the movies. That conversation's there for people that want to have it, but that's what's, for people that like movies and like the Oscars and kind of like engaging in the conversation of cinematic storytelling, this threw all of that under the bus.
Nate, thank you for jumping on with us this morning on this Monday. Thanks for taking this ride with us. We're getting this video off the ground. Hopefully by the time we talk to you on Friday, we'll have all the kinks worked out. But as soon as I saw that last night, I thought to myself, we got to get Nathan tomorrow morning, because this story is just, Kelly was late. She was in the back, and we had just gotten back in from New Orleans, and I heard her let out kind of like a piercing scream, as if I thought somebody broke into the house in the back, and she was like, "Come see this! This is I don't know what I'm watching." She was I don't know if this is real, if this is fake, and she showed me the clip, and we just stood there and watched it on repeat for 30 seconds. Oh my God, this is I can't watch this.
That's I think the weirdest part about this is seeing, you don't ever want to see anger. It's that point. It's that point when you're like a kid and you see the adult have your uncle had a little bit too much alcohol at Thanksgiving, and it's like, oh crap, the fun uncle is a dick, and it's like you don't want to. That's not how the business works. And now we saw that, and it's like, hey, look, put out all the PR releases or all the spin you want to, You can't get back from anger, pure anger, and that's what we saw. That's not classy. If you want to get back to what the Oscars used to be, you got to get back to the Humphrey Bogart days, the Cary Grant days, the Sidney Poitier days of showing up in a tuxedo, being a good entertainer, standing up for what these movies mean whenever they're strong for the public or the culture. That's not what they are before the show even started, and this is oh, okay, so it is a joke. All right.
Bigger sideshow, was it Kanye West whenever he took the award from Taylor Swift, or what just happened last night?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that. Taylor Swift was so new to the industry. It was such like a new source. So that angle of that is huge in terms of how much that played out. But the memes for this are going to be way better.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they
will.
are.
We're evolved now.
Nate,
Oh,
have a
yeah.
great week. We'll talk to you on Friday, buddy. The 5-Minute Critic. Make sure and follow him on all social media. I'd imagine that this is going to be content gold for you, right?
Oh yeah, head over to 5-Minute Critic. I'm going to be doing. There's an instant reaction to what happened last night. Went live a little early because of that. Obviously, there'll be a breakdown. I think I'm going to do something on why it isn't fake. The things that you have to ask yourself is if it is fake, how this is going to play out. But yeah, also we just released the Patreon, so you can see it in the links to all our videos at 5-Minute Critic. If you want to support the channel, we got a whole bunch of extra content coming out on there. But oh yeah, this is pretty much the story for the next week. And Will Smith better come out and say something because he's in trouble right now. Whether it's fake or real, he's in trouble.
Nathan Velasquez, he'll be back with us on Friday. Thank you, Nate. Have a good week, man.
See you guys.
All right, there he is, the 5-Minute Critic checking in this morning as we continue to work a couple of the kinks out. We're getting there. We're getting there, baby. We're getting there. Johnson Spillers brings you the Jordy Culotta Show every single day here, right here, live, brought to you by Johnson Spillers. Go check him out on Prepare Avenue. I'm going to see him today to get what is the final leg of a year-long journey with Johnson Spillers on the tooth implant. Front 4 going in. I said, F it over the weekend, man. One of them was coming in. I was trying to enjoy a New Orleans po' boy. And
Did it come out in
it
the
did
po'
come
boy?
out into the bread. I crunched it when I
Oh,
bit
no.
down.
That's the thing I hate the
That's the
most about the
worst.
teeth, dude. That's what creeps me out the most.
The sound in your brain
That's the worst.
that makes is the sound that I think
Ugh. It makes
you
wanna
can
suck
never
your
you can
teeth.
never
No.
not hear it.
No,
Like,
you'll remember that for as long as
If you
live.
can ever recall, like if you've ever had it, if you've ever had that crunch in your brain where you just like crunch it down and you hear it like up in the temple of your head.
You could break another tooth on that tooth.
I thought I did.
Yeah.
I thought I did. But that was at the point where I just was like, I'm over this tooth, man.
Do you still have the tooth?
I'm
or
going
did you
fang.
Just, like, throw it?
No, I threw it in the street.
I knew it.
It's in the French Quarter.
New Orleans.
It's in the French Quarter somewhere. Just over it, man.
Some homeless guy is very happy to have found a tooth.
Yes.
A
I
whole
bet.
tooth.
Hopefully it fits, bro. Hopefully it fits. Sorry about the shrimp that they have in there.
Fried grill.
Fried.
Oh.
Yeah. Why not? Win
The
in New
levy,
Orleans,
yeah,
bro.
the levy,
Just play.
Yeah, you got the levy, dude.
Yeah, you gotta play. Yeah, the levy. You've bailed, bro. You've bailed on our workouts.
Well, I've got an F-45, dude. I've got onwards
Did you
and
hear
Big
upwards.
time now.
Did you hear what Lloyd did? Challenged the former baseball team to an F-45
my
membership,
God.
18 holes over the weekend. Got them all relief netted up. Next thing you know, by 7th hole, Lloyd's gotten coming down the
Got a
home
little
stretch,
lubed up,
bro.
little swing oil. You know.
Doing some squats down the fairways.
Yeah, why don't we do a little bet here, boys? How y'all feel? Oh, good. Oh, excellent. Me too.
Lloyd,
Shout
your,
out Bo Didier.
your,
Thank
golf,
you so
your,
much.
your golf stories are legendary. I remember Ronnie Rance and Buzzy Heidel told me
Buzzy
the
is
first
still
one.
not happy.
Still just feel very
beat them?
cheated, very taken.
Did you cheat?
No, he didn't
it's not-
cheat.
it's
I
not
think
cheating. It's not
I think his
cheating.
demeanor and his look puts off an air of not a golfer.
Right.
Absolutely.
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 You don't look like a golfer.
So, like, when Buzzy and Ronnie were giving me the third-hand story of it, I mean, even I was just kind of like, Lloyd? Like, Lloyd, the guy that does y'all's show, Lloyd?
The only thing he does is sports
The guy that asks me about weed all the time?
Jordy,
Is
would
the-
you happen to know somebody?
Right. You got any spare? Like, that Lloyd? Always looking for a hit in the middle of the day, Lloyd? They're like, yeah, coach. He shows up to the course like in the Nike golf pants, the white belt, the tucked in
Little
golf
gray belt,
tee,
gray
Really?
alligator belt,
and like the
yes,
visor,
yes,
like
yes,
Buzzy
yes.
and Ronnie are like, who
What the fuck
is
just
that?
happened?
Like, who is that? And Buzzy's like, I think that's Lloyd. No fucking way, that's Lloyd.
I need a
No
photo of you
way.
in your golf attire.
Lloyd walks
got
up to
that
the
show.
first tee. Ronnie says he gives him the country club swing with the follow through straight down the old man down the middle.
Down the middle, fading just a little.
Not too far,
Not too long.
not into the sunlight.
No.
Just kind of out there straight in the middle of the fairway all day,
Comfortable
just kind of
distance.
pounding you. Buzzy thinks he's giving up strokes to kind of get the win. Next thing you know, Lloyd's got him into a pretzel at the turn. They're looking to give strokes back.
That's he tried to redo
At the
he tried to
turn, they were
redo
trying
the
to
strokes. Like, this
redo
is
it.
not
It's
how
like-
golf works, boys. I hate to tell you.
Sorry
this
you
is
got
not the
taken
rules.
today,
Yeah.
but I mean, we've got 9 more of these things coming at you.
I'll get you a couple drinks for the boys over here. Y'all all right?
And Bo Didier, who is a local owner of a gym here, F45, put a F45 membership on the line Sunday in the golf get-up. And Lloyd, by all accounts, victory lapping the whole way home.
I had to ride Ochinko for about 4 holes, but then Lloyd got it straightened out, and that's when we made the bet. And it was like, okay, a little sandbag, here we go. Got the boys ready, and then we took advantage, 3 versus 2.
All right, bro.
That's
Felt
awesome.
good.
Lloyd.
Felt good. I might get in shape. Watch out, Noah.
He ain't scared, bro.
No.
He's not
He
worried
ain't
about
scared.
it.
Laughing at you.
I know.
Take that golf club out of your hand and wrap it around your neck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Here's an albatross.
Mr. Gilmore did that no more than an hour ago.
All right, good stuff today. We'll have these phone calls figured out by some point. I know Sam Burns is going to be via
I know,
video
I'm
at
very
11
nervous
o'clock.
about
Yes,
it.
I bet you are, bro. You might lose that F45 membership.
Immediately.
That's right. That's right. Montuk's going to come down with a fucking bat on your head.
No doubt.
All right, so make sure you're tuned in 11 to 1 o'clock, and make sure you are keeping up on all of our social media, because at some point today, this afternoon, Tyron Matthew is going to be in studio with us, and we are looking forward to that, man. That is going to be real cool to have Tyron on talking about the latest in free agency, his Super Bowl runs in Kansas City, defending Patrick Mahomes in practice every day, what that Kansas City team was like when they were right and fully healthy. A lot of stuff, man. What's his value in the free agent market? Why is he still unsigned? What was his years like at LSU? What was that missed season like as a junior from his point of view? We all know what it feels like for you and for us, and not being able to catch that time with Tyron in that year, but we'll ask him about it coming up this afternoon. Make sure you keep up with all of our social media, please, at Culotta Show, and are subscribed and are set to get notified for anything that we go live with here on YouTube on the Jordy Culotta Show, brought to you daily by Go Chevrolet. Everybody enjoy the day. Mic'd up 11 o'clock. Special edition of the show coming at you this evening. Keep up with all our social media. For Lloyd, Noah, the Carpool Queen, Jordy Culotta signing off. Be back with you tomorrow morning, or be back with you this afternoon at some point for a live sit down with the Honey Badger. Enjoy your Monday. We'll be back with you at some point this afternoon.
All right, thank you for